All right, let's give the other stream here a second to get up and running. We got about 5 minutes until the market closes. All right, so we don't have too much to go over today. I think we pretty much anticipated what the market would be doing today and kind of what we would be looking for going into next week. But we'll review that, and then we'll also go over today's play on the SPRB. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for December 17th, 2021. Q's down about 0.25% there. SPY almost 1%. And then IWM actually up 1%. All right. So IWM here showing a little bit of relative strength, but still also doing an hourly sell setup here. And that's what the Qs and SPY are all doing here, hourly sell. So we were saying if we break underneath yesterday's low, then we'll be bearish, and then now we're doing a sell setup. That's a lower high in the context of the Qs and SPY here. Let's take a look at the daily and the weekly on these, because for the past few months we've really reiterated how all these little pullbacks that we're getting in the hourly are against the longer term trend of the Qs on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And so what we're getting now actually on the weekly here is an engulfing red bar here. So we call this a bull sandwich, but it's actually a bearish pattern. It's the bull bar right here, the bullish green bar is getting sandwiched. Okay. So it's looking like the weekly tried to do a bit of a bounce there, a weekly pullback, not a fully formed one, and then that is getting negated. So maybe we start to see the weekly uptrend start to fail. So that's pretty noteworthy for the Qs and SPY. SPY, very similar here as well. All right, so we do have downtrends already on the daily and the hourly. Okay, there it is on the hourly, and then here it is on the daily. Lower high, right? We'll see if this takes us back down to lower lows compared to this pivot to the left. All right, but hourly downtrend is in place. We're starting to see weakness on the larger time frames, so going to be bearish going into Monday. All right. Let's take a look at this SPRB. This was really the only thing I wanted to get involved with today. I really like this gap up. Has a lot of the qualities of the gap up that I played on Tuesday. We had this kind of gap up and good amount of void up above. All right, and that was the GRTX. The GRTX, however, couldn't really get going. And then at first this morning on the SPRB, first attempt at it didn't give follow through. So I'll show you what I went for first here. Started off with this breakout. So kind of similar play to the GRTX. All right, we got this breakout here. I did use kind of a bigger stop just because it's a little bit on the wild side, but right here. And then got the breakout there. It looked okay, and then I did an add in here on this buy setup here. Looks a little bit nicer on the 2 on a secondary entry there on the SPRB. So right there, and then triggered right there, and then failed. So that was the add. Okay, so that was the first try. There were some opportunities to replay this though, and I just did not catch it. All right, so here was the first one. This one was while I was on the mic. I didn't like how I was basing too much towards the bottom here. That was this right here. Right here. That was okay. I think that was okay to play. I decided to let that one go. And then some tech issues kept me out of replaying the high of the day base, which that would have been the play for me. So this I thought was a little bit too weak. You got a breakout here, you're going to run into this resistance. It's going to be a little bit tough. Okay, and reward the risk a little bit harder. Now, once it takes out the highs and bases, then we're good, right? So Yeah, just a real heartbreaker on this one to not have been had the chance to get back in it. Um, yeah, and that's just how it is sometimes. You know, you get some tech issues. Sometimes they keep you out of plays that wouldn't have worked. In this case, it kept me out of a really nice home run. So, uh, yeah, just kind of a disappointing way to end the week, but. Sometimes that's just how things work out, and it doesn't always have to be tech issues. Could be family emergency or something comes up. It's hard because with trading you don't get to decide when plays show up. It could happen at the open, could happen 30 minutes after the open. In this case, the really nice follow through came 3 hours after the open. Sorry, even really more like 4 or 5 hours after the open. So it's just how it is sometimes. We try to really stay focused from beginning to end for reasons like this, and it's just sometimes things happen, and you just don't get a chance at them. But right before I started to have power issues. I did give you the numbers for this. They would have needed to be adjusted because the numbers I gave you were to play over this. I think some people caught it though. I definitely saw some people in the room said they got it. So if initially I gave numbers here and that was fine to do, but then it negated those initial numbers by doing this, but that ended up just being a shakeout. It went right back up. So all you needed to do was do this, right? So all you need to do is that. Put that all together, and then now you got yourself a play. All right. So yeah, that was the SPRB. I really like these kind of setups, like these gaps. That's why, I didn't feel bad at all about the GRTX not working on Tuesday. Because and even I said, there was a similar play the day before. It was the PTPI, but PTPI not nearly as good of kind of like void up above. But the entry pattern was very similar. It's just like a opening bar breakout. But yeah, so the SPRB, that was just stuff that that's the reason I trade is to play stuff like that, because the follow through on something like this is amazing. That'll just make your month and definitely make your week. So I'm glad some people caught it though. I was definitely, when we broke for lunch, even though I had played it in the morning and hadn't been able to get it to work, when we broke for lunch, it was the only thing on the list. Not just the only thing on the bullish list, it was just the only thing on the list. And that's why as we were at lunch, I was like, all right, it's setting up. And then, bam, and just lost power for 30 minutes. So, yeah, so that was the day. And really, what else do you need, right? So anyway, sometimes it happens. All right. But hopefully you had a nice week. I think the right approach was really just to stay focused. Less is more this week. Don't overtrade. Don't play lower quality stuff. And I think that'll remain the case moving into the next couple weeks as we finish out the year. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's market wrap. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday.